I want to talk about the inset play in Henry IV, Part 1. And in Henry IV, Part 1, you have a very important scene in Act 3, Scene 2, where King Henry and Hal appear together at the court. And King Henry, ever since Act 1, Scene 1, he's been on record as being disappointed in his son. And he said in Act 1, Scene 1, that he wished that Hotspur were his son, that he wished it could be proven that they were, he took the wrong baby home from the hospital. So in Act 3, Scene 2, you get to see the father and son reunited, and there's this wonderful speech that I'm sure, all of you can channel very clearly from having your father or your mother carry on for pages about how horrible your behavior was and how much they're disappointed in you and how they fear for your future. So Hal does what I'm sure all of you do and say, "Yes, sir, I'm sorry. Yes, it was terrible. Well, I think someone may have badmouthed me." And then finally he closes with, "No, no, no, I will be your good son, I promise," and all is forgiven. So this is a very anticipated scene. In Act 2, you have Hal and Falstaff rehearsing this play. And it's enacted as an inset play in the tavern. So they're rehearsing the scene where the father is going to scold his son and the son is going to apologize. So they start with King Henry, played by Falstaff. And Falstaff is seated on his stool saying, "This is my crown, this is my throne, this is my scepter," and Hal is playing himself. And Hal is very dissatisfied with how the king is speaking. And so Hal says, "Are you talking like a king? Give it up. Here, let's trade places." And Falstaff exchanges places with him and says to his tavern audience, "I'll tickle you for a young prince." And then Hal takes this very important moment not only to heap insult after insult on Hal's bad companions, but speaking as his father, Hal announces that he is going to banish Falstaff from his son's company. And this is a nice moment because it sort of looks forward to Henry V, when grown-up Hal, as King Henry V, has indeed repudiated his friendship with Falstaff, and they're going on kind of their separate ways. Hal as good King Henry V and Falstaff as declining old man. Now, you remember that a play within a play can either deepen things thematically, or it can serve as a plot point, or maybe both. And here you have it serving as both, because even though it's just in fun, it does look forward to that important moment in Act 3, Scene 2, when the real Henry IV and the real Hal reconcile. It's also a plot point because of Hal's repudiation of Falstaff when he says, "I do, I will," in the person of his father, "I'm going to banish you, Falstaff," which looks forward as kind of foreshadowing to Henry IV, Part 2, and then Henry V, when the characters say to each other that the king has broken Falstaff's heart. So it deepens your understanding of the father-son dynamic. It draws your attention to the language that they use in the court. Remember, Hal says, "Do you speak like a king?" Huh. And it also serves this plot purpose of pointing forward.